However, my dog, being a Yorkie and very protective, barked on and off for about 15 minutes because he was a stranger and she needed to get used to him. Well, the rage text started after being home for 10 minutes. She was going to drown my dog. Good morning, my witches and warlocks. My name is Sick and Tired, and today we are going to be visiting our narcissistic parents, and we are going to be reading stories about when no contact goes wrong. If you are enjoying my videos, I would please ask you to hit the subscribe button. I will never beg, but I am here for you 5 days a week, and each day is just a different type of crazy. You never know what's coming on this channel. We do like to focus mainly on parental trauma, childhood trauma, so we visit narcissistic parents and insane parents on Reddit quite often. Just a little side note before we start reading, and this is not important, so you can skip it if you want to. I am so excited about fall coming. I am hanging up my Halloween decorations on September 1st, and nobody can stop me. I am so ready for the heat to go away. It's finally our time of year, witches and warlocks. Also, before we get started, I just wanted to ask if you guys would like me to find music to play really softly in the background while I read these, or if you like it without music, we will just keep doing it the way that we're doing it. But you let me know if you'd like to hear something in the background or just keep it like this. What would be funny if I got just like all these really dark, like Wiccan music and just played it for everything and it totally didn't match? From Space Station 2002, in Dad, back in my life, and completely forgot why I went no contact in the first place. So from the title, it looks kind of weird. What they're actually saying is that the parent forgot why they wanted to go no contact. My in-dad kicked me out last year after I asked him to apologize for the stuff he would say and do. He told me to get out of his life, so I went no contact for a year until my brother went to the military a couple months ago and I decided to be in contact again. Never got an apology, figured I'd get over it. I wasn't living with him anymore, and I guess we were good until my older brother just died and he wanted to go to dinner a couple days after his funeral. I'm so sorry. He made it a point to say it was just for my siblings who I barely get to see and sister-in-law. Sounds like Dad's perfectly okay with being no contact. He said it was to celebrate my late brother. So yesterday he told me he was inviting his girlfriend, who I never met, even though they were together before I moved out. That kind of irritated me, but I thought I'd get over it. Until it was time for dinner. He would pick me up and I didn't know he was going to pick his girlfriend and her daughter up. That made us really late and everybody was waiting for us. I barely spoke to her and her daughter. It just pissed me off so much to invite someone who didn't even know my brother to a dinner that was to celebrate him. Okay, but you can't really get mad at the girlfriend and the daughter. They haven't done anything wrong to you. Afterwards, I left with my sister-in-law and everybody agreed it was awkward to invite her. Okay, well, I told him it was weird to invite them and he was like, at least I met someone new. I don't like his girlfriend because I heard her talking shit about me on the phone when I was living with him. Oh, okay. Well, that changes things. Then I just remembered how much disrespect he did me before I left. He didn't care if I was on the street. He would rather that than apologize for anything he did. I'm deciding to go no contact again. Yeah, I mean, that's probably best, especially if you went no contact for so long and you were happy and you felt better, then I guess that's probably what you're just going to have to do. I'm really sorry about your brother and about your shitty situation. From Basic Photographs 726, my mom's tracking me. Something I have noticed when I'm looking through the no contact posts is a lot of the time the parents, they can't handle that. The posters will find out later that the parents have been stalking them, sometimes even putting hidden cameras where they live. I've caught my mom multiple times putting trackers on me without me knowing. For background, my mom has my location on Find My Phone, which I'm not allowed to turn off. I go to college out of state and last year decided to come home for her birthday to surprise her, so I turned off my location, to which she then proceeded to call me on my way home and get into a screaming match with me, which then ruined this nice thing I was trying to do for her. I see. So our poster isn't no contact. She just doesn't live at home. Oh, well, I'll read it anyway. Since then, I found a tracker, like an AirTag, in my wallet. I called her out on it and told her if I found one again, I would never forgive her for it and that it was a crazy thing to do. Okay, wait a minute. What? An in her wallet? I have to know what this is. Oh, I'm scared. Is this what I'm actually thinking it is? No freaking way. Look at this. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is actually, I like the idea of this as a mother myself. Basically chipping my daughter, who is 11. That is totally different than planting one on your grown child in college, grown up. Oh, I forgot to turn the air off. Okay, we'll just wait a second till the air turns off. Sorry, I totally forgot. Is there anything you want to talk about or catch up on? I'm burning a black candle. Don't panic. Black candles are for protection. I got some crystals when I was in Montana too. You guys want to see my crystals? This is rose quartz. I think this one is like bumblebee quartz. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but this is to help with stomach issues. And then this one, I do not remember what I did with the papers. It's like an orangey, like a topaz. Supposed to be good for anxiety. So yeah, just waiting on that air. You guys do anything like that? Any crystal girls up in here? Leave a comment. I love my crystal girls. Any witches? Any fellow witches watching? Anybody else that loves coffee as much as I do? Okay, air's off. I called her out on it and told her if I found one again, I would never forgive her for it, and that it was a crazy thing to do. She didn't respond to me about it and just went to bed. I don't know what to do. She pays for my car and my college, but this is driving me crazy. I feel like I'm constantly being tracked and that I can't do anything in private because she's obsessively controlling. I just need some ideas of what to do going forward. You're just gonna have to talk to her. If you are not in no contact with your parent, it doesn't sound like you're on too bad of terms with your mom. I would just talk to her and tell her, like, this makes me really uncomfortable. Maybe you guys can come to like a compromise. Okay, mom, you're kind of worried about me, out of state, whatever. Maybe just text her every morning and every night, letting her know that you're okay. From Legal Heron 860, why is it that every 2 months or so I want to break no contact? It's never that I miss my mom or want to go back to how our relationship was before. I'll just be so mad at her and I want to scream at her for the past and present. I hate that she gets to control the narrative, that I can't defend myself. If I could, it wouldn't matter because they've always believed her over me. I know the best thing I can do is move on and never look back, and I'm trying, but it's hard. I wish she would just admit it and be honest for once, but I know she can't do that. One honest interaction where she would admit to her mistreatment of me instead of this hovering love bombing shit she's been giving me. I don't want to be pessimistic, but just don't ever expect that to happen. They never admit when they're wrong. Ever. It's your fault. You're the problem. That's how they think. It took me a long time. It took me almost 40 years to realize that that's who she is and that's how she's going to be. She's never going to change, and just move forward. I wish you all the best. From Forward Form 9321, my parents still don't understand that no means no. No is a complete sentence. I mentioned last week how they forced me to go chaperone my brother and his new girlfriend. This week was about the same, with them telling me to go with my older brother back to school youth service, which doesn't make sense because my brother and I are out of college. No. What? Anyways, I kept telling my dad no over and over, but he just didn't get the hint. At some point, I got annoyed with him bugging me about it, so I cracked. Decided to just go to the service. I tried to stay as unengaged as possible, and the main thing I've done is think about the job that I interviewed for a couple days ago. I'm planning on seeing if I can start volunteering at the campaign office next week so I can keep my parents off my case. I also have to wait to hear back from the job I interviewed for, but it's frustrating that I can't put my foot down yet. I don't really understand what school youth service is, and they're out of college. They're out of college, like done. So that means that they're like in their 20s. You just need to say no and just that's it. Like you said, no means no. So I have something about my mom that I want to talk about. If you don't want to hear it, you can skip to the next post here. But it kind of relates to this right here. After I had moved out and I got a job, my mom started working for Pampered Chef. Now, she had only been doing Pampered Chef for like a month. I had been with Smith's for like over a year at this point. And she was like, I'm doing really good with Pampered Chef, and I am going to get like a van that she was going to have customized for Pampered Chef. She's like, and then you're going to quit your job and we're going to do it together. No. Who just decides that? Oh, yeah, you're going to quit your job. It's really crazy when you do have a narcissistic parent. Just what they think that they can just tell you to do, even when you're grown and you're moved out of the house. Can we talk about how the older generation will ruin their relationship with their own kids because they don't know how to apologize or even recognize they have done something wrong? That's the thing. They don't even think they've done anything wrong. So why would they apologize? From Cash Bev 1961, narc mom living in my home. Oh no. Oh no, please. For the love of God, no. I fear I fear this. I fear this kind of stuff. I don't exactly know how to write this to the extreme that it actually was, and I'm hoping it doesn't sound silly, but I'm really looking for some advice. I am 39 female, whose narc mother was about to be homeless a year ago, and I was guilted into letting her rent out my basement rental unit. I get it. It happens. I left at 22 years old because I could not handle her behaviors. She loves to make a scene, needs to be the center of attention at all times, and no matter what happens in her life, she is always the victim.
Your mother or mine?
Anyways, so for the past year, of course, we have had issues, but the biggest one being that she goes to bed without fail by 8 p.m. every night. So for the most part, I walk on eggshells trying to be quiet in the evenings. I have been respectful to not have company past 8, other than twice now, 365 days. I hate this. Twice. This is not an everyday or every weekend occurrence. Last Friday, I reconnected with a friend after 15 years. Gave my mom a heads up that we were going to hang out at my house and have a few drinks and catch up. Now, I know you're just being respectful, but the bitch side of me wants to say, why even give her a heads up? I wouldn't even tell her anything that's going on. You don't have to. It's your house. Okay, now I'm just being mean, I think. So 9 p.m. we show up at the house. She's sleeping, I'm assuming. My friend is as aware as I am that we have to be quiet, and we are. However, my dog, being a Yorkie and very protective, barked on and off for about 15 minutes because he was a stranger and she needed to get used to him. Well, the rage check started after being home for 10 minutes. She was going to drown my dog? Okay, there's a difference between being a narcissist and just being plain evil. Strangle me and the dog, etc. Then proceeded to come downstairs to my entrance and scream like a psycho that she was going to kill my dog. Went downstairs and slammed door after door screaming fuck at the top of her lungs. My company was so uncomfortable and I was mortified. I still am. My friend was so on edge after that he started asking me permission to go to the bathroom and outside for a smoke with fear that she might lose it on him. The next day, she blew up my phone telling me how selfish and disrespectful I am. How she only got 9 hours of sleep. Telling me I'm a horrible dog owner because I couldn't control my dog from barking. She actually said,
I'm the victim here. I pay rent for a quiet sleep.
Again, this is the second time in a year I've had company past 8 p.m. She has now given me the silent treatment for 4 days. Walks around with a scowl on her face and just makes my skin crawl. My friend refuses to come back to my home because of her. I don't want to be an asshole and use the whole "this is my house" line on her.
Holy moly.
Look, I think you have two choices here. Either one, if you don't have the heart to kick her out, let her stay there for free. And then you can do whatever the fuck you want and say, this is my house, you're living here for free. Or two, kick her out. Because the things I'm hearing here, your mom sounds like she is incredibly disturbed. To be slamming the door, screaming fuck, that sounds like an absolute mental breakdown. Threatening to kill your dog. From Hill Runners, narcissistic parent talks about me to my children. Ooh. My in-mother likes to complain about me to my minor children. My mother lives with us because of health reasons and constantly complains about me and my parenting to my children. She wakes up at 3:30 a.m., so I should get up that early. And if I don't, I'm a bad mom. What? What kind of person gets up at 3:30 in the morning because they want to? That's usually a have to. My children are and besides, your kids wouldn't be up that early anyway. My children are picky, so I make meals they will eat, but I should be forcing them to eat things they don't like. My spouse and I are the worst parents because we gentle parent. Everything we do is scrutinized. If my spouse takes time off from work, they are lazy. If we go out to eat, we are wasting money. We take a day to just relax with our children, and we're lazy because we should be cleaning and cooking all day long. I'm angry because my kids hear this, and it's like my mom is trying to turn my kids against me. So the only thing that I could suggest to you, unless you think you can handle in talking to your mom, would be to talk to your kids and let them know that their grandma is dumb. It's your family, the way that you guys live, whatever works for you. And if you have a happy family, a healthy family, that's all that matters. I have this one last post on Spotlight. My therapist told me that people who are not able to sleep without background noise, such as TV or fan, is a trauma response to abandonment issues. And the noise tricks your brain into thinking you aren't falling asleep alone. So I thought that was kind of interesting because I've never been able to sleep without the TV. And now that I'm older, I don't sleep with the TV on, but I have to have fans like all throughout the house. Just an interesting food for thought. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you have a wonderful day. I hope that you're able to keep your parents in check. Again, if you're enjoying my content, please consider subscribing. I'm on the road to 500. And if you enjoyed this video, click here. I think you'll like this one too. Until next time, I hope your symptoms are low and I hope your magic is strong. Bye.